Chimpanzees are our closest living relatives. We share 98.8% of our DNA. Emotionally and socially, chimps are very similar to humans. Chimps are nearing extinction in many countries. They are threatened with loss of habitat and the illegal wildlife and bushmeat trade. Chimfunshi Wildlife Orphanage in northern Zambia is one of the oldest and largest chimpanzee sanctuaries in the world. It is home to more than 150 chimpanzees and numerous wildlife species on 10,000 hectares of forested land on the banks of the Kafu River in the Copperbelt region. The chimpanzees come to Chimfunshi from all over the world after being rescued from poachers, from private keepers or amusement parks where they are suffering tremendously. Chimps like 51-year-old Mila, who was brought here in 1990 by Jane Goodall. She had discovered Mila in a bar in Tanzania, where she was the main attraction, an alcohol-drinking and cigarette-smoking chimpanzee. Mila was heavily addicted to cigarettes and alcohol when she first arrived here and suffered from strong withdrawal symptoms. She had not been in contact with other chimps in 17 years. Today she is well integrated and lives like an adopted grandmother in the biggest outdoor enclosure of the orphanage. Chimfunshi currently provides employment, housing, basic healthcare, education, training, and continuing education to about 70 employees and their families, a total of about 400 people. Chimfunshi has its own farm for growing crops, fruits and vegetables to feed everyone at the sanctuary. We also have 700 cattle earning some money for Chimfunshi. In 2011, we founded the Twampane School for the children of Chimfunshi employees and for the children of the surrounding farms. Now we have more than 220 students. Zambia is one of the poorest countries in the world. 3/4 of the poor live in rural areas. In many places, overexploitation of forests and poaching are the only sources of income for local people. Work and education are the only chance to escape poverty.
We want to see good soil and bad soil. Good soil and bad soil. London wants to see good soil and bad soil.
School classes and visitor groups from all over Zambia come to Chimfunshi to learn about environmental protection and conservation, the protection of African wildlife and the threat of species extinction. Chimfunshi Wildlife Orphanage was first established in 1983 by Sheila Siddle and her husband David when a game ranger brought a badly wounded infant chimpanzee to their cattle farm.
We're farmers, but we have always accepted animals and injured animals, injured birds, and got them better and released them into the wild. And they brought me a baby chimpanzee that was really badly injured. He had his mouth was wide open up here. His back teeth had all been knocked out with a hammer, I think. And they asked me if I could do anything with it, and we fortunately were able to save its life. And they then said, well, she's got one, maybe she'd like another one, and another one, and another one.
Later on, they adopted many other orphaned or wounded wild animals, like Billy the hippo. He was only 10 days old when he was found. His mother had been killed by hunters. When Hamburg-born entrepreneur Stefan Louis first visited Chimfunshi in 1988, he immediately became enthusiastic about Sheila and David Siddle's chimpanzee conservation project. He began to support the project significantly, bought adjacent land, and recruited other organizations and individuals to support the project. Thanks to the financial help from Germany, the conservation project grew quickly. Chimfunshi Sambia was transformed into a foundation, and Stefan took over the chairmanship of the founding board. In 2011, Stephen Lewis died unexpectedly at only 57. Since then, his brother Sebastian Lewis has continued the project with the same commitment in the spirit of his late brother. 40 years after the arrival of the first chimpanzee, Chimfunshi is still growing. A few months ago, we rescued 3 chimpanzees from the Central African Republic. We are overjoyed to finally have these chimpanzees in their forever home. Here, they will be safe and free for the rest of their lives. Running a place like this is a huge financial challenge. Chimfunshi needs well over $500,000 every year for food, basic medical care, salaries of the employees, and maintenance of the infrastructure. This does not include necessary special projects and investments. Therefore, we heavily depend on substantial financial help. Without your donations, the Chimfunshi Wildlife Orphanage has no chance to survive.